So okie dokes. So where were we last time? I think we were on the Caracal. Was it this one? I may have just left it. Yeah, I think I just left it next door. Let's have a look. There it is. So what we can do is the condor still here. That's the condor. You can get the condor. Honk. Nice to hear from you, fellow hordlings. Somebody's put a load up for 50,000. That was me. Put some cheap ones up. I only have another 1,000 left, so you know it's terrible. Well, we'll jump in the condo. We'll do a few in the condo very quickly. Get some more Scourgy missiles. We'll get 10,000 because they're insanely cheap. Oh, I can't even fit 10,000. We are going to have to take some out before we start because we won't be able to put any loot away. All these missiles are in the way. So what we've been doing is we have, that's not what I wanted to do. So we've been working our way up using the starting ship and then assuming we have 0 money, and seeing how it feels to progress through using just Abyssals to make money, essentially. I think I've got my Excel sheet around here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Just change the name. So I don't know how my OBS is set up. Oh, it's set up as a screen. That's cool. So these were our first few runs. We've got a little total there. So in total profit is 4.4 million. We switched to the Caracal here, but I didn't really love the Caracal. Cheers, Fim. Didn't love the Caracal, so I'm going to just start off with not doing that. So we're holding shift there. It lets us split the stack. We're going to put 5,000 out into this Fortizar, just where we've got a lot of our stash. And then we've made ourselves a little Abyssal spot. Morning guys, returning player. I've not played for a couple of years, so here for some tips. Perfect. Well, what we're doing is, this is the very starter condor that we give out for free in Horde, and if you die in it, we'll give you another one for free. Basically ad infinitum, especially if you're losing them in the abyss to like low level abysses. We don't mind that. You just learn how to do it. Have you made enough money for a worm yet? Well, there was the Excel sheet, so let me load the Excel sheet again for you. So the total profit right now is 4.4 million. If we sell the Caracal, we're up to like 40 million. Your microphone is a bit low. It always is a bit low. Boosts me up a little bit, but I'll boost me up a little bit as well. I have real problems with this. I think it's the sound card, if I'm honest with you. I think my sound card is slightly on the fritz, but or sound drivers. Let me just see. So I'm at 5. Let's go to 10. How is that? That should be twice as loud now. Halfway towards the worm, yeah. So we use, we need to be in a fleet. So we're gonna right click ourselves, form a fleet with. There you go, we're in a fleet. And we can just close the fleet window. We're not bothered about that. Go to frigates. Do a bit of wiggling. Why is it not letting me do this? Also, let's just double check this. Yeah, this is the same storm that was up the other day. It's not a problem. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this microphone, but I have problems on some things and not on others. I don't seem to have a problem on Mumble, but I do have a problem on Discord. I don't really know what's going on. Oh. Right, so here we are. So we've got a transfer conduit gate. We've got this. This is the loot box. And we've got one enemy who's zooming his way towards us. This fit can just turn absolutely everything on, so we will do that. And we're just going to fly straight towards this. We'll target it as well. You need to blow it up to get into the loot. And the first, so these are tier 0s. They're the very basic tiers. And they're just going to give us a real basic understanding of the Abyss. I don't know if I can still upload that previous video, whether it's still an option, but I'll have a look at that at some point today. I think when I finished, I accidentally did like 3 hours straight, and I was a bit tired. So we're just going to kill the Damavik. This is a slightly tanky NPC in the grand scheme of things for the T0s, but he will die eventually. He doesn't really do any damage to us that's a threat, so we can just sit with him. I've got a feeling we could actually just sit on top of this and stop our ship, and I think we'll be fine. I think we can what we'd call face tanking this. Yeah, the shield repper's good. So I have max skills, so this will be playing a part of this. If you're not tanking him and you don't have max skills, you may want to start orbiting to reduce the damage. You can see now I've sat still. He's doing much more damage. With a missile ship, me sitting still is always a negative, because I don't have tracking on him. So the missiles are going to hit him just as well as they hit him now, whether I'm moving or sitting still. So, you know, moving is better for me if he's using guns. Most of the enemies in the Abyss are gun-based, and some of them are gun-based with a missile, and that missile can be quite painful, so you want to make sure you're moving for the guns, and also if you're moving quickly, missiles hit you a little bit less. So that was quite a good start. We got 704,000 disc. And you can see our filaments were, I think, 50,000 disc each. So it's 150k to get in. And we've already made that back on the first room. First room's really easy, really quick. So we're doing well. And second room is the same thing, exactly the same thing. Apart from this time, we've got this red cloud, which will go in to show you what it does. So you can see this is just the general bonuses to the Abyss that we're in. We're in the Dark Abyss. And then this one gives us 40% shield booster bonus and duration. So it makes our shield booster do less health, and it also makes it take longer. So we do not want to be in that, because we are a shield booster fit, and that's going to cause us some problems. So to avoid that, what we'll do is we'll orbit the gate here, and that should just keep us out of the cloud. Keeps us moving as well, as long as he stays within 42 kilometers or is approaching us slightly outside of that, because what will happen is the missile will travel from my ship towards him, and if the gap was 50 but he's moved a few kilometers, you know, if he's moved 8 kilometers, then he'll be 42. My headphone will turn itself off if it doesn't think that I'm playing any music or sound, and I don't play the game with sound. So if I'm just talking, it turns itself off. If I turn on Spotify at like 1 volume in the background, it doesn't turn itself off, so that's what I'm doing now. Bad streamer tech. Like, I could just go and find the option that's making it turn off, but I'm lazy. Alright, let's start flying towards the loot box. The higher level Abyss will have more of these loot boxes. They'll have this one, this is the main one, the biocombinative cache. But there are going to be additional loot boxes which kind of have resources in them. They essentially have these. Sometimes I think they have those and the other kind of resource which you don't get so much of in the T0. The little red crystal things. So I don't know how much we got from that one, but about 300,000. We're up to 1 million now. Hey Michael. So this is pretty typical of a T0. Is you'll come out with about 1 to 2 million ISK. The ship obviously is free from the MBI team, and the filaments are going to cost you 150k. So you're coming out a few million ahead each time, which is somewhat similar to kind of belt ratting, basically. It should take you about this long to kill battleships in your Vexor in belts or in your Algos in belts. So this is real day one stuff. The Abyss doesn't... It feels to me like it doesn't quite move up gradually like some other content does. I think you do the low level stuff, the medium level stuff is only slightly better, and then you jump straight into the relatively expensive stuff with like 200-300 mil, and then from there you jump really expensive or you jump really risky. So you're either using ships that are going to explode, like Vagabonds, that are kind of just built to go in and get a few runs of an Abyss, make some money, and then they die and you've kind of made enough money to pay them off. Or you're paying, you know, 10 billion is for a Cerberus that shouldn't ever die but is super risky to play, and if you do die in it, it's bad times, or if you disconnect from the game, you know. The Abyss is always a bit of a gamble. If if your kid comes in and you need to go for a little bit, this timer, you've got 14 minutes to get out of the Abyss. That's you're committed once you're in. That was a million ISK, so this is quite a profitable T0. And the reason for that is literally just that we're getting lots of these red books. This is a redeemable that you can sell to NPCs or you can sell to the buyback, and they are a very consistent value. The NPC will buy them for 100,000, which means that the buybacks generally buy them like 10% less or even better than that sometimes. So they'll buy them off you for 90. So you're getting relatively good ISK from that. So actually we're pretty guaranteed not to die in these. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for that. You have to wait until the filament disappears, the trace. You spend plenty of time shooting stuff in T0s with a Condor. You can check the settings for your mic. The thing is, Fim, I've actually looked through all the sound settings many times, because this has been a problem since I've had this desktop, which is a lot of years now, because I just keep replacing parts on it. And I can't find anything. I can't find anything that seems to do anything proper to like help us, which is annoying. See, now the microphone is on, at least on the recording, is picking up the headphone volume from the music. Like, that's how mad it is. Like, so according to my computer, the microphone's picking up absolutely everything. It's just it's not boosting to you guys. This is a white cloud, it's a speed cloud, so this will make you go super fast. So they are quite dangerous when you're already quite a quick ship like we are, and quite useful when you're in like an afterburner ship to kite out things, so maybe. So I think we might actually scrape the edge of it so you can see the speed bonus, but if we don't, we'll go through it and we'll actually look at it. Let's put the target painter on some of these drones to make it a bit easier to hit them. I've got my actionable keys on F1, 2 and 3, so if I wanted to, I could just push them on the keyboard. And if we were running a fit that was maybe a bit more complex, maybe I would have them to do that. Also, this isn't an Abyss tip, but in heavy tie-dye, you might want to push keys rather than click. Pushing keys seems to be more of a definitive thing in the game, like the game seems to be happier with it, so in tie-dye it can be really good. So that was a million ISK again on the first can, doing really well there. And we've actually, I think we've had a few tranquils drop, so we've got enough to do 3 runs if we wanted to. I think this will be a 2 run. I'm not sure, because we need to find our next plan for the next ship we're going to go into. Could potentially do some with Fim if he's got the hookbill trio fit. I think there's a hookbill trios concept. I've never actually run it, so I don't actually know what it is. Definitely, if that is an option, we can have a go at that. So in these dark abysses, it's pretty much movement is key. The main bonus is that you're fast and that they have bad time tracking, so you can kind of run away from your problems a little bit. And knowing later on in the harder levels, it's knowing what will stop you running away. So ships with webs, ships with newts, they will stop you running. Some of the ships with scramblers might be a bit of a problem. It's that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, there'll be ships that just keep up with you and do loads of damage, and you'll just want to kill them as soon as possible. So that's things like the Kikimoras sometimes can be a bit like that. Although the Kikimoras can't keep up with frigates, which is nice. Just zooming away here. So you can really blitz these as a Nubro, like they're not difficult at all. Nubro should be able to finish all of the T0 variations. There's not really a difficult one. The jump from T0 to T1 is relatively significant, and you will need a completely different fit. So don't try and take the Nubro Condor into a T0 because you will explode. But as you can see, we're just getting the same stuff. So the Damavix and the drones are pretty much what you see in the T0s. And you get loads of the other T0 filaments as well. You get absolutely swamped with them, which is nice. Now I'm saying you take the Condor into T0, but you don't take it into T1. I may have misspoken and said the wrong T's, but the entry level, the Tranquils, that's what you're taking your MBI ship into, and then you need to ship up for the T1s. So I believe at the moment our advice is to ship up into a hookbill and go in as a trio, and then you'll do alright in those T1s. But the aim of the game for us is to get into a worm, which is going to cost us 100 million ISK. Which will be a little bit of a grind, which is why we're plugging away on my day off here in the morning. Once we get into the worm, we should get a relatively good income going. But even so, for a new player, like pulling in a few million ISK is quite useful. You're going to be able to buy your basic skill books. You're going to be able to buy a basic frigate or two with a few million ISK. It's not terrible. What tiers can you do in the worm? Typically we'll be doing T1 frigates, but we'll be doing them solo. And you get like 7 to 8 mil per run solo. So the worm costs us 100 mil. But if you can get 7 to 8 mil per run, you can see that the income is quite significantly increased from the basic Condor. That is my understanding. The whole point of this is that I'm a relative Abyssal new player in that I used to run Abyssals, but I basically just read a guide for one ship and just used to run C3 Gila Abyssals because they're basically AFK, and that's all I did. So I know the basic concepts, but I am going to try and learn and also fail at various ships. You know, there's probably ships that hopefully we get to later on that will be a bit trickier to use and probably blow up. But yeah, I think the worm solo is T1 electricals, I think is the aim of the game with the worm. I will check that though. Alright, so what we do after each run is we'll just record how much money we made. So this is all the stuff we're not going to use again. We actually got enough darks to run 2 more. So it's about 4 million ISK, so we'll put that into, get rid of this one, put that into here, run 6. So these runs are usually like 2 to 3 abyssals, so it's usually like 30 minutes. So 4 million ISK. This one probably was much less. Let's look at the time on the stream. Well, I've actually closed the stream. So it says we've been streaming for 20 minutes. Yeah, I think exotics as well. And I think, can it do darks too? Don't know. That should have updated. So yeah, so now we're on 8 million ISK. So we're making our way uptown. We'll dock up. I quite like the Condor. The Condor has actually been more consistent than some of the other fits. We'll be brave and oh, we've got the Gila just for an example there. But this isn't brave actually. We're going to be cowardly and we'll just use the Caracal for a little bit. We've got plenty of filaments. Because it's a cruiser, you just need the one. You can see we've got lots of different bits of loot here. Just double check that we've got plenty of missiles. I think we do. We will need to get some more of these at some point. You don't need these faction missiles for the Caracal, but I just find that it's a little bit quicker, and I think that's worth it. It's not a ton of ISK, it's 1 million ISK, so not terrible. So we're going to go and we're going to do tier 1 electricals in a cruiser now. And again, I've got max skills. This isn't a maxed out Caracal, just for saving money. So the only spendy module here is maybe this shield booster and some of the lows. These are slightly expensive. But yeah, the ballistic controls, for example, pretty cheap. Just the meta version. We could upgrade that to T2 for more damage. We could upgrade the missile launcher for more damage. Don't really need to upgrade the web. You don't really need to upgrade the shield rep for these T1s. So you've got to move slightly, use the calm, go back to cruiser and activate. It's not a ton, it's 1 million, haha, no pun intended. Wee. So straight away, there's a big difference with a T1. So you can see we've got lots more enemies and lots more loot cans. I am going to just blitz them. Just thought I'd put the mic up to sneeze there so you guys don't have to hear it. This is another cap stable fit, so we can just, it's helped a lot by the fact that you get capacitor recharge in electrical storms, which is great. Just going to head straight over to the biocache. We're a afterburner fit. Thank you. Most of the people who watch this stream are like people who know about Abyssals already. We're just here to say hi, I think, which is fine. Every so often a new person comes in and gets swarmed with answers, which is great. That's what we want. We're webbing. We don't need to web him. We apply pretty much perfectly with these missiles. They're very, very good at applying. Again, especially with max skills, like the skills do help a bit. And with Abyss running, especially high level Abyss running, you will want to have as good a skills as you can get. You'll be using skills, you'll be using drugs, you'll be using high-end modules, the whole shebang. So you can see that we got 300,000 ISK, which you might be thinking, wait a second, that's the same as the frigate was getting in T0s. And you'd be right, because the frigate in a T0 is expected to run with 3 other players. So the loot is 3 times as much for a T0. So you get lots of loot. If you can do that solo, which the Condor can, then obviously you are going to do better than the cruisers do. The advantage for the cruiser, and we did see it a little bit in the first runs, is that every so often you'll get a higher level filament in these. They've got a better loot table, the T1s, than the T0s. So you can get these tier 3 filaments, and they are quite valuable. So that's the advantage. And for the stream's sake, we get to see some of the other NPCs. So this is a Kikimora. So I always like to kill the Kikimoras as quick as possible, just to get rid of them. Kikimoras, just like in the real game, they ramp up their damage and they do more and more damage to you the longer you let them live. So killing them quickly is very beneficial. We've got a lot of red cloud down here. I think the red cloud increases their tracking, so we don't want to go anywhere near that. As you can see there, 119 from the Kikimora. He's hurting me straight away. We're going to webify him, although we can't for some reason. Oh, it's because we're not targeting him. We're targeting the cache. Dope. The Caracal can equip drones. You'll notice we've not got them. We had them out and a Kikimora killed them all. And they don't really add too much damage, so congratulations on becoming a dad. And yeah, just enjoy the game. Don't play too much really if you've got a kid, I suppose. But hopefully we can make it so that when you do play, Abyssals are really good for this kind of stuff. Like if you've got a ship that you don't care too much about that you're using for Abyssals, you can just do a 50-minute play session, earn some ISK, have a bit of fun. They're interactive, you know, it's not mining, you're not just sitting still. So they are kind of good for that small play session approach. It's exactly why CCP introduced them, I think. It's just so that EVE Online players typically would be building grand projects that would take months, and you know, you'd be out there mining for hours and hours and hours to make anything, and now you can kind of log in, 15 minutes, log out, done. Which I'm a big fan of. I think there should be a variety of things you can do in the game. So again, we're not getting very much luck here. If we wanted to, we could go and grab these cans. Typically they're worth about 100,000, 200,000 ISK, and they have some of those materials in them. For T1s, I really won't do that. I don't think there's any good reason to. I just play the roulette on the main can, see if we get something good. So we got 3 cruisers this time. These cruisers, luckily for us, don't do a ton of damage, so we can just go straight through them. What we'll do is we'll kill this spearfisher. He was a little bit over 40 kilometers when we started shooting, but he's flying towards me, so the missile will not have to travel 40 kilometers, have to travel a little bit less, so it's going to hit him still. They're a big cruiser, so every missile is going to absolutely hit for 100% of its damage, which is great. You can see I should be doing 789, and I am doing 789, well, when it's not just blowing him up completely. So that means I've got perfect application. I need a checklist probably of what to kill first. There are cheat sheets, so if you join the Abyssal group in Horde on the Discord, so you just need to go on the Discord section of Horde Square and choose the Abyssals. Go into that group, it's open, anyone can join, and in the pinned messages there's this graphic that I'll show you in a second that has all of the information that you'll need to kind of figure out what is a priority for you and your fit. And then often with fits there'll be YouTube guides and stuff like that where it will explain, you know, there you go, that's the cheat sheet. Oh, let's zoom out a bit. Let's just look at the game quickly. Oh, we're on a reload. Boo. This is the last room. You can tell it's the last room because Origin Conduit. We've got 13 minutes left, so we've got a little bit of time left. Plenty of time. Not under any pressure here. Yeah. Well, if you're in a high set group, then I don't know how we can get this to you, but I don't know if you want to just take a bit of a picture of that. You missed the Visitronus bit at the bottom, but yeah. Sure, we can find a Fim or someone maybe if they're still on can find a way to link that. I'm sure if you Google Abyss Eve cheat sheet, then that image will probably come up. Alright, we've got a few extra bits here. Some filaments that are not worth much, 200,000, and a Vedmak blueprint. The blueprints generally are not worth too much money. I can't remember off the top of my head how much a Vedmak blueprint's worth. But there's a way to check, and I'll show you how. It's from the Abyss Lurkers Discord. There you go. So now you've got to go and find the Abyss Lurkers Discord. We're making this real easy for you. Doo-doo-doo. I'm curious whether this could actually do a T2, but it probably couldn't. Might be worth a test at some point. So they're all auctions. So the Vedmak blueprint for these Abyssals actually quite good. So it's selling for like 7 million lowest. So if we add that in, I mean the red loot was horrendous from this run. So 7 plus 700,000. That's about 7.7 million-ish run. We'll add that in actually. Run 7. So that's the kind of extra luck that we're talking about. That's the kind of thing that we want to find. And that's probably why running as the Caracal is going to be our best option. Yeah, Fim, this player's not in Horde. Obviously, they should join Horde, because why would you not? But yeah, they won't be able to see our Abyssal Discord at the moment. So with the cruisers, they just jump you straight in because there's no possibility that you could be in a fleet. And we just got that cruiser wave again. Don't actually know if they travel quick enough for that first wave of missiles to hit, but we're hoping that they do. Probably should turn our shield rep on. Helps a little bit. Abyssal Dead Space is a channel on the Abyss Lurkers Discord, not ours. Ah. Well, I'm not in that Discord. But yeah, maybe I should be. So we just wait for our reload. Which takes forever. This is the real downside of this fit, but the advantage is that the majority of the enemy DPS is gone before you get to this first reload. That's what you're hoping for. I'm pretty sure if you have decent DPS skills, like if you have Tech 2 guns, most cruisers with a shield rep can do T1 electricals. Like they're not challenging at all. So if you particularly don't want to use a Caracal, you could maybe skill up into a Stabber and you probably would be fine. Okay, this is just a fat fat drone. It's not going to cause us any problems. He's quite slow, so what we can do is we can just sit on the edge of 40k range. This is a good lesson on just how to kind of kite big slow guys. Once we get to 42, we're going to start opening up our missiles, and we'll just manually try and keep ourselves relatively far away from him so that he can't shoot us. So to manually pilot, we're just double clicking in space, and it just lets us fly in a direction we want to go, so we can go up if we want. And then a little bit later the ship will turn and start moving upwards. So he's at 18 kilometers, he's still not doing any damage. We could click on him and just orbit 20k, something like that. I'm sure that would be fine here. And we can look and see his speed. So his speed's 500 and ours is 600, so we should always be maintaining our range. There you go, no damage taken. Fingers crossed we get another Vedmak blueprint. I think the Kikimora blueprints are still worth a little bit of money as well, but the Damavik blueprint's not really worth anything, and a lot of the ammo and the gun blueprints are not great. The ammo ones are generally alright, especially if you get can't remember the name of it now, but there's two that are good. People use a lot of. Yeah, Tetrion is one of them. So that you will be able to sell this for a little bit, or make it into ammo and sell the ammo. Yeah, this is a tier 1 electrical. You can tell it's got the little line. That's tier 1. So when it's got 2 lines, it's tier 2. You know, and on and on and on it goes. So we're going to fly into a tracking cloud, which in theory is good for them. But the way this fit works is it's going to kill the majority of the enemy ships before they even start hurting us. So there's going to be so few of them left that it's not going to be a problem. Also, I think these guys are a little bit faster. Yeah, they're much faster than us, so we can't outrun them. We've just got to kill them before they get us. In the higher level sites, you might run away from them to start with, even though they're faster, just to increase that time before they reach you, so that you kill off the important ones. There are no particular important ones with the drones. When it's drones like this, you're just killing as many drones as you can as quickly as you can. I'm not sure, in the higher waves you'll get like 20 of them, and I'm not sure if at that point there's some that web or scram you, and if there are, those are the ones you want to get. Gonna have to learn that the hard way. So we've got a little bit of crystal isogen, 400,000, and a gamma. The tier 2 blueprints are they're not commonly run. So it tends to jump from like tier 1 all the way up to like tier 3 or 4. Tier 2 is not something that people run, basically because the fits and the bonuses that they use from the wormholes stay roughly the same. T1 to T3 is all 50% bonus, and then tier 4 you get higher bonus, but the NPCs don't get much more difficult. So generally the fits that work for T2s work all the way up to T3s, so why would you not just do T3s? And then the fits that work for T3s, if you pimp them out a little bit, usually you can do T4s. So that's the basic concept of why there's not much done. I can do, it's not anything too crazy. I don't know if that's even copyable, but maybe. Well, that's not even all of it, I don't think. I can't really tell. Maybe it is. So that one was obviously not 7 mil. So that would have been a million-esque, and then finding contracts. So it's not worth very much at all. So yeah, we're rolling the dice a little bit with the Caracal. I don't know if it's the play. We're going to keep trying. Do we have enough ammo? We are getting to the point where we do need to get some more ammo or stop with this ship. You can see we're getting neutered out here. That can be risky for us, so we'll try and get rid of him first. He's the Lucifer Fury, which luckily we're already on. And next up we're going to kill this Dramiel. These ones are really zoomy, so the web can sometimes help a little bit to just keep them slowed down, so that your missiles are applying. You see my missiles are not fully applying to him. And this Echo is a scram tackler, but he does no damage, so if it's just him left, he's not a problem. Hey Cybergig, how are things? It's cut off, is it? If what I can do is probably a bit better. So this is the website that I found the Caracal fit on, and you can just find various fits, and what it will have runs that people have done and loot they've got, so you can see how well the fit performs. In theory, it's obviously community based. People are uploading their own runs, so they could do a bit of lying, but generally it's pretty accurate because you see lots of different people running it, and you've got a good idea that the fit works okay. So if you're new to the chat, what we're doing is we're just running through the Abyss and trying to pay for new tiers of ships just by clearing Abyssal sites. So basically we're flying what we earn, and we're trying to get ourselves up as high as we can, seeing if it's possible. And this is from the perspective of someone who's not an expert on Abysses at all, so I know a little bit about them, but I don't really know the higher tiers. I've never really done tier 4s plus regularly. I have run tier 5 group stuff in frigates and things like that, so there is a bit of experience there. How long have you been mentoring? I've been playing the game for a while. I don't know what this guy's history is. If he'll give us a clue. 2009 apparently is this character. A little bit. 15 years, 2009. I think this is. But mentoring, I don't know, like a few years in Horde maybe. And it's just sharing what information you've got, isn't it? I'm never going to know everything about Eve. No one is. Some things I'll know more than others, some things less. And if I don't know something, I'll generally try and find out for you. Got access to quite a lot of resources and people who know lots about the game, so generally we can get things figured out. But yeah, this is more of an exploration into abyssal space, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think most people on and off Eve, like, I think that's quite healthy. It can be quite all-consuming. So again, we're just going to focus the Kiki. It's not going to last very long at all. Yeah. I did a bit of travelling for like 6 months, and I think that was the biggest break I ever had. I think even then I still had skill training going. But yeah, quite regularly I'll have like a few weeks where I just make sure I don't play. I'll try to at least. Try to just do the bare minimum. Loads of people playing Albion Online. I kind of want to get into the new European server for Albion Online as well, but I don't want to pay however much money it is to get early access for a game that I know I'm going to play for a week and I'm going to stop. I think if you wanted to play yesterday, which was the first day, you have to pay 200 quid, and it gives you a year subscription, which I'm not going to play that game for a year. I know that for certain, so that was a bit of a no for me. Right, I think we do need to get ammo now. Got 300 left, and then what we've got in the tubes. So, yeah, we're getting to the point where that's going to be an issue. All these filaments are worthless, as is that blueprint's worth like a few 100k. So generally, what we're going off is the 1.8. So we'll record that. So that was a pretty bad run, in comparison to the previous one, 7 mil. And then the best run we had was 13, which was the first electrical run, but we chain ran for a while. I think we did 5. So that's maybe a bit of a misdemeanor. And then you can see 4, 7. We got 10 from the first run. Must have run that condor quite hard. So there's no upset gear. We're running cheap ships. We're right next to MJ. Hopefully people don't feel the need to come and hunt us down, stream snipe us. But it does give the stream the advantage that I can just go and get ammo really easily. So that's what we're going to do now. Going to get a load more ammo. Let's have a look at our total. We're at 17.9. The aim of the game is to get to the worm is our next target, I believe. So there is going to be a fair bit of grinding, a fair bit of chatting. It's going to take a while. You know, if we're getting bad runs like that, we're getting a million ISK every 10 minutes. It's going to take us forever. But hopefully we can get a few more of those blueprints and we can sell those off, and that will speed things up for us. We're cheating on a few aspects. So the skills, I'm perfectly skilled character. I don't want to be waiting around for skills for this. Just want to demonstrate the kind of what the income is and how to run these sites. And then the other thing is I'm not actually selling the loot. I am basically just saying that I'm getting that much, you know. What am I doing here? That's how much I want. Do we minus? Oh, I suppose we have to minus 1 million. Boo. So we're actually like barely breaking even with this caracal. Took about a month off of Eve. For the most part, I think double type that during March and half of April. Yeah. As you can tell, we're not a Chinese time zone alliance. There's no one on. 200 people in MJ. There's still 200 people. Most of them probably just sitting in the Keep Star. Left their characters locked in. I think you probably do better if you just have T1 ammo for this. I think you do enough DPS with it. So this might actually be a bit of a lavish expense, but it's a good lesson in that later on you're not going to be using T1 ammo. You're always going to be using faction or rage. we just got Paragon points and money. Oh, we got a daily goal. Destroy 25 non-capsulators. I mean, do we add that in? I think we add that in. Let's put this to 2.3. If we're going to be taking out ammo costs, I guess we get to put our daily goals in. If you're really min-maxing, you could literally do Project Discovery on some of the slower waves where you're just shooting one target for ages, or when you're doing your reload. Maybe we'll do that on the next reload. If you kill this box and then this gate won't open. You know, you've got to kill all the NPCs. Just to show you that, because so far I've been killing the boss last and maybe making it look a little bit like that's what was opening the gate, but no, it's the NPCs dying. There you go, got that timer at the top there, 19 minutes. So it's still really quite simple on the mechanics. You don't need to worry about too much even in the T0s. Sorry, even in the T1 sites. The fit carries you pretty nicely. That is also the case with the later fits for some of the fits. But we've got a bit lucky there. So there you go. We've got an electrical filament 800,000. So you can't really get those in the T0s. Very uncommon drop if they can. And you can sell it for a little bit of money. So that's nice. What else do we get here? Just some random filaments. But yeah, that gives us a little boost that we wouldn't have got from the T0s. The other thing we can do as well is if we survive with this, oh, we'll just quickly go and grab this one because it's very close. If we survive with this ship and we can sell it, we're going to kill this anchoring in case he causes any problems. I'm just going to quickly blast through this. You have to be careful with these rocks. You kind of have to get on top of them and get around them and, you know, do a bit of flying. Otherwise you'll get stuck. So 400,000 is worth it. It's worth just a little side trip. It's not worth a big trip. So if they're miles out the way, don't bother. Just got to fly up and over this little canyon now. Dun, dun, dun. And then I don't think we're going to have enough to kill the frigate. So what we'll do is we'll kill the cache and get in position to use the gate. The other thing we can do as well is listening to myself. So you can see we've got some 0-point condensate there, which is worth a little bit better than the isogen was worth. And that's used in building Triglavian items, basically. All those blueprints we were getting, it'll go into those. So there is a market for that, because Triglavian ships are used, Kikimoras are used in big whaling operations to kill big ships, just swarm them with Kikimoras. And for larger fights, the shacks can sometimes be seen because they just have a really good ramping damage. So if you're dealing with a structure or dealing with a dreadnought or something that you need to get lots of damage onto, a ramping Leshak can be very nice. You see them a lot in the small scale kind of wormhole type fights where there's maybe 20-30 guys. Being able to choose to bring a really high damage Leshak can be quite a good thing to do. You can see as we jump through these, they're not like Stargates. A lot of the modules and things like that carry on. Something to remember, so you can get going straight away. So we're up against the old battlecruiser again. So how we deal with him is we just kite off to the side. Oh, we don't want to. And once we get within about 40 kilometers, we'll start letting loose with the missiles. You can actually see them exploding on him. The explosion effects somewhat new in like the last 12 months, I think. I might be wrong about that. They're quite nice. Boom, boom, boom. You can see that it was EM missiles that hit you, things like that. Can never be asked to fly a Leshak. I've flown a Leshak like once. I don't. They're good if you're in a small group, but like other than that, they don't stack up very well because switching targets and things like that is just loses all your DPS. But yeah, great ships in small fights. You can do remote repairs, you can do newts, things like that. Which with the other mainline battleships you can't really do because you don't have the space. You just have one thing in the high slots of the shack, so you got space. They also get a bonus to remote repairs, which is cool. First time in the chat as well, Parters316. Thank you for joining us as we grind our way up to a worm. No, you don't need to turn off the... So if you fly into the room like this, like I've flown in at speed there and jumped straight away, it does... Oh, we're not in a sight, but it does keep you going at the same velocity. So that can be quite useful and also quite dangerous, but generally I'll keep the afterburner on. Yeah, I linked the streaming Nubians on the Discord, dude. I don't think it's worth a ping though. I am Mr. Tingler. You may have seen me on the Discord. I am relatively active there. One of the Nubian initiative team. Okay, we've got an attacker marshal. These things have a big missile. We're actually going to go away from that red cloud. Red cloud's bad. So he's got a big gun and he's got a missile that's going to hit us. So we want to try and get close to him without getting hit by the big gun. So we're going to... There you go, that's the missile. So that's always going to hurt. So we need to make sure our shield rep's on, which it wasn't. And now we're over in range. We need to just get the damage going. So it's mainly these missiles that are our problem with this guy. And you can see they really do hurt. I don't know whether we one-clip him. If we don't one-clip him, we might be in a little bit of trouble here. I think we do, though. Looks like we do. So you can see he's doing more damage than our shield rep can heal. So what we can do is we can overheat the shield rep a little bit. Overheating's fine in the Abyss. You know, if you need to do it, do it. There you go. We've done that now. We've survived him. Genuinely, those in the high levels are one of the dangerous waves for some fits because that missile is just unavoidable damage. Yeah, I'm MBI. I'm also... I haven't pinged for ages, but I'm also one of the skirmish FCs, so sometimes you'll see me ping there. That wasn't a bad haul. 600,000. Not amazing, but pretty easy. How do you so overheating, you can either shift click or you can just click this top little button, or if you want to do the whole rack, then you can do these three. So that'll be the top rack, middle rack, bottom rack. What I do is I shift click it, just like that, and then off again. And you'll see it'll glow before the next round, and then it, yeah. These are drones who release drones. I know, so they're Triglavians who release drones. But, well, if you kill the Triglavian ship, the drones will deactivate and stop coming after you. So that's what you got to do here. So we'll just kill him. And they do actually have a fair bit of DPS, even though it seems like a load of little stuff. And you're obviously stopping quite a lot of the incoming DPS every time you kill one. So if you watch, a lot of these drones are going to stop moving. There you go. So his 3 have stopped. And now the next guy's 3. You don't need to kill the little drones as well to progress. No, that's fine. Rusty's fine. There's so much in this game, so it'd be weird if you weren't rusty on some bits. It's a fierce dark worth something. Oh, it's worth a little bit. So the value of these is just based on demand. So like more people that run them, the less they'll be, the higher their cost. So lots of people are running fierce electricals, it seems. And for the same thing, if loads of people run the high-end sites, the filaments for them become like rarer, and you can run the low-end sites just to farm for the filaments and then sell them if that's the case. And then obviously once lots of people are doing that, it flips back the other way. It doesn't matter too much who we kill here, but we're just going to kill the Damovic because I think he might remote repair, so we'll just get him in. I'll pop in and probably watch VOD later if you're offline. I've got to pop out now. Right, no worries, Cybergeek. The VOD's just going to be us grinding today, I think. I don't think it's going to be too interesting. Obviously, just going to be chatting to people and making sure everyone has the information they want. So we're in a red cloud there. It's giving we're in a tower effect, actually, not a cloud. And it's giving their turrets 80% tracking bonus, but yeah, they're still not hitting us for some reason. Just not being able to keep up, maybe. Oh, it's going to be really awkward. My missile's going to have to reload. That's why I really don't like the Caracal. The reload cycle's really annoying. What's my experience with running darks? So we run darks as a T0 fit. That's the recommended fit for the starting stuff in the Condor. And then on top of that, I've run 3-man darks in the, I think it was Hawks, or no, maybe it was electricals. I've run 3-man electricals, I think, in Retributions. That's it. So I don't have a ton of experience in the Abyss. So we are at some point going to be running darks, and yeah, we'll be running the higher tier stuff once we've got enough ISK grinded up. I generally tend to showcase a higher level Abyss kind of every stream. So we'll showcase the Gila again, this one, just because I've got it ready. And that'll be just the T3 or T4 exotic Gila. There you go, T5 Gammas. That's something we'll have to try. What do you run in? Gila with mid-grade awareness, rolled DDAs and rolled extenders. So yeah, so is that like kind of the stable Gila that shouldn't in theory die? Like, you know, should be relatively safe but it's quite expensive. That's my understanding of how. Yeah. So yeah. So you run in an expensive fit so that you're aiming to survive. Like, you're not aiming to lose to any of the waves if possible. I'll keep watching streams and you'll pick stuff back up. So we're just moving our ship to break the warp invulnerability, and then we can activate the filament. You should get high grades. Well, then you're walking into lots of billions of ISK at that point, aren't you? And if it works with mid grades, no? If you've done a lot of them and it's never failed you, then you're alright, I think. But yeah, I'm definitely curious to like get people who regularly run Abysses to like send me fits and stuff for me to aim for. The later stuff, I'm definitely wanting to aim for like the really high end stuff, but I'm a bit cautious in saying that we're going to do that because the amount of hours it's going to take is probably more than I can put in. But I might buy them just to showcase for people, you know, just say, look, if you can get your ISK levels up to this amount, then this is what you can achieve. Obviously streaming that stuff is very risky as well, so we'll have to put some more boxes and opsec it a little bit more. Gamma fits are pretty simple. That's good. Simple's good for me. My brain's not a complex brain, smooth brain. There's a channel on Eve called Abyssal Lurkers. Well, apparently there's a Discord called Abyssal Lurkers as well. Should we try and join Abyssal Lurkers in game? Abyssal Lurkers. Let's see. We're in 100 and oh look, yeah, there's loads of fits. Torv's fit. Exotic Gila, Electrical Stormbringer, Dark Cerberus, Firestorm, Ikitursa, Gustav Manfred's Cruiser, and multi-box content. We're live on Twitch. Well, you're not, because I've got that channel hidden. But yeah, this is what we want. Tier 1 solo frigate starter fits. I want to try and find ourselves a starter fit that we can afford, that we can go and run. Tier 2 solo frigate fits. Tier 0 Dark Rocket Kestrel. Tier 1 Dark Rocket Hookbill. That's what we want. We want the Tier 1 Hookbill. So we'll have a look at that in a second. Cheat sheet from Astarafi. Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely try and use the Hookbill. I think on balance the Caracal might be slightly faster ISK, but I think we're getting really unlucky. Like I think we're just getting horrible luck and nothing's dropping. Maybe that's the way it is. Maybe it's just not a very profitable thing to do right now. That's not worth anything. This is a mutaplasmid, so if you applied that to a small cap battery, it would change the statistics of that cap battery. It could be better, it could be worse. You can look at it. So you can see there it could get more expensive to use it with CPU, or it could get 5% less. These are horrible negatives and slight bonuses, which is why these are super valueless, because you need to roll a lot of them to get a very minor bonus. T1 the rocket. Yeah, I'll probably have to join the Abyssal Lurkers Discord, won't I, as well? But I'm guessing that channel is relatively up to date. We'll find out. If it's not, we're gonna die. doing a bit of missile counting here. 1, 2, that should be enough. 1 and 2, and all the rest of them can go into the Damavik. Oh, it wasn't enough. No. And now look, the Damavik's repairing it. Damavik's evil and hates us. Oh, mate, let's just kill the Damavik. Annoying little thing. All for 300,000 ISK as well. Gonna have to reload cycle. Boo. But then we're out. And we can look at this hook build fit. I think there will be hook builds in MJ. I'm pretty sure. What are we up to ISK-wise? We got 20, 21, 22, 22 mil. Will that be enough to buy this hook build fit? That's the question. To be honest, we can sell the Caracal. Because I'm bored of the Caracal, and hopefully the hook build works. A bit of a risk, but if we die in it, the Condor brings in nearly as much as the Caracal. Like, it's not bad. That Vedmak blueprint really saves the Caracal run. You know, 7 million ISK is basically 3 or 4 Condor runs altogether, so that's kind of how it ends up working out. Oh, let's try and keep the old spine straight. Probably gonna have to go in about half an hour, I think. These runs have been quite little, really, haven't they? You know, you're getting desperate when you're adding the 100,000 ISK in. Right. So, and then there's a guide to it. Oh, God.
To shape destiny is within.
Hey everyone. Today I want to showcase 2 rocket fits designed for alpha pilots. They're the moving on.
Is it arrogant to be like it's designed for an alpha, so I should be fine?
The same, except it runs an additional thermal shield amplifier and 2 range rigs. Really, the main difference in how you're going to fly this hookboat compared to the Kestrel will be swapping ammo types. Because the hookboat gets a slight edge to kinetic damage with our skills, the ammo choices are going to look like this. Scourge Rage by default. Nova for Damaviks, Drone BCs, Drone Frigs, and the Drekavacs. Mjolnir for Sancha, and Inferno for Edencom, just like the Kestrel.
Oh, we're gonna have to start remembering things.
You want for all your rockets is Rage versus Javelin rockets. Rage does higher damage, but loses range. The other consideration you want for all your rockets is Rage versus Javelin rockets.
No.
Drone Frigs, and the Drekavacs. Mjolnir for Sancha, and Inferno for Edencom, just like the Kestrel. The other consideration you want
Keep a little
for
cheat
all
sheet
your
to the side
rockets
there.
is Rage versus Javelin rockets. Rage does higher damage, but loses range and application. For the most part, range is the main thing we're going to worry about. When frigates swap off their MWDs,
Well, make sure you're in a learning pod when you're logged off in the station, you know, because it'll speed up your training by a fair bit. And you can just have it for that hook build fit is probably 1 attribute or 2 attributes that are going to make a big difference. You don't even need to buy the whole learning pod, you can just buy the attributes that you need. Eventually you'll want to have one with everything in. A learning pod is learning implants. I'll show you when I'm back in the game in a second. And what you do is you don't undock in it, you just leave it in the station and you swap to it. And then when you're offline, your training is increased because you've got more attribute points. The other thing is doing a remap of your attribute points just to check that they're in the areas that you want. So Typically, learning
use
ship
javelin rockets
hulls or
against
weapon
devoted
systems
hunters,
will have particular
drone
attributes that
battlecruisers,
will work for all of the
Kikimoras,
ship
and
hulls,
triple
so
frigate
you want to
spawns
be
for
heavily
DE
into
and
that
Edencom
attribute if you're
ships.
doing that.
Again, these spawns are why I recommend holding off on moving to Tier 1 until you can use the Tech 2 rockets, specifically Javelin. You want to be able to throw Javelin past 20 kilometers to be safe with the tougher spawns.
Oh,
For
look at
these
that.
Javelin spawns,
He's getting
hover
smashed.
between 18 to 20 kilometers to avoid most of their damage. Watch for the boundaries so you don't trap yourself. The most punishing of these spawns is the drone battlecruiser. If you get within 10 to 13 kilometers and get bad luck, the battlecruiser can land a wrecking shot and it will one-shot you. Last up for our hookbill, I want to quickly highlight a few spawns. Remember to use Javelin and Kite drone battlecruisers, devoted hunters, Kikimoras, and rooms where you have triple frigates of the DED and Edencom varieties. You can use Rage in the DED and Edencom frigate rooms. This is the riskier strategy for the room, but remember, you can always just pull range to catch up on tank. For the drone battlecruiser, close the distance by flying it at an angle. Around 25 kilometers, set your orbit to 20 kilometers. This will minimize the time you drift in towards lethal ranges. For signables and knights, you want to commit with Rage rockets and orbit at 500 meters. You will take damage on the approach, but you can avoid all damage once you set up that close orbit. Once in that orbit, your afterburner is more valuable than your shield booster when cap is concerned. For the Abyssal Overmind, use Mjolnir Rage for shields, Nova for armor, and Scourge for the structure hit points. You will hit natural reload points throughout the fight so you don't fall behind by swapping to the better damage types. Finally, remember at the start of every dark run, always check which penalty you rolled. You can expect to take more damage in the 30% rooms compared to the 50% rooms. Because turret ranges are nerfed in darks, we can always choose to fly away to catch up on tank before committing in again with our rocket damage. Thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful to
Right. We've completed the skill plan. Right, we'd like the ships though. Is this where we get the fit? I would like to see the hook bill. I don't think I can. I'm literally just trying to figure out the actual fit. Let's click this. Oh. Skill plan is found in game. Here's the fit though. So, can we buy the fit? Oh. Import from the clipboard. Save the fit. Alpha T1 dark hook bill. 21 million-esque. I think we can afford the hook bill. I think what we're going to do is we're going to sell the caracal. Remove it from the cadre. And we're going to try and be a hook bill person. I'm just reading a thread of somebody who's been working at a job for like 2 months, and they got their job offer for the job they've been working at 2 months later. Like, recruitment department, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? So we're not actually going to sell the Caracal, but we're going to pretend that we're selling the Caracal. So we're going to give ourselves 20. We're going to rename it Caracal. Change name. T1 Electric. Sold. So we know that we'd have to technically rebuy it again if we wanted to. Simulate. So apparently it's 31 mil. So that's good. So we get 31 mil back. Selling Caracal. We'll be honest and say that it's probably going to be like 26 mil if we want to sell it quickly. So now we've got 48, which might be enough to buy us a hookbill. We're going to have to buy ammo as well. Buy. How much did that cost us? Let's see. So, so 911 to 885. Let's figure out exactly, because I did not look when we bought it. Minus 885. 26 mil. And then we've got to buy some ammo. Let's do that. So let's buy 2,500 of those. Which are actually really expensive. Is that how much they actually cost, or are people ripping people off? Probably the latter. So let's just make this a bit bigger. So it's costing us 1.616 to make, and then yeah, I think people are ripping us off here. But anyway, let's divide that by 50. 32. This is slightly overpriced. Okay, good. That's something to fix. What other ammos do we need though? The training pod implants. So training pod implants are so it's these ones. So cybernetic, memory, neural, ocular, social. They're your 4. And then they have different variations. So I think this is the simplest one. Yeah, so +1 is limited, and you can see on the market that they're really cheap. 400,000. It's going to give you +1 charisma, and then the best one is improved, which we may not even have. 100,000 on the market. 100 million, sorry. So they're really expensive, and these require a bit of skills to use. So the requirements to use it is cybernetics 5, which is quite a long train. So most people land on using 3s, which are basics, until they've got a bit of money and get a bit of skill points behind them. And the requirements are really simple, and they are cheap. So let's look. So they're 6 mil, 6.7 mil. So that's not bad. You can get 6s. Oh, whoops. This will be the biggest one then. What am I on about? I think mine are mostly standards. So for the whole set, a standard set's like 100 mil. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. So it says Scourge rockets by default, Mjolnir for overmind shield, Rage rockets at close range, Javelin rockets long range. So I don't think you go faction rockets. I think you go Rage or Javelin. So we'll look for some Javelin rockets. Let's just get rockets up in general. Bum 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 ba dum bum bum. Rockets. Advanced long range. So we don't have Scurv Javelin on the market. Does that mean we have to go? Well, we can't We can't do this without Scourge Javelin. Inferno rockets for Edencon. That's one of the long range ones. Nova rockets. So these are more relatively well priced. I'm wondering how many rockets we can fit into a hookbill as well, to be honest with you. Plenty. Do I have any Scourge Rage? I do! Woo! Save the day by just having my own. Oh, it's not what I want. I want Scourge Javelin, don't I? Which I have as well. Yay. Right, that saved the day massively. So, Rage is good, but I think we need, like, actually need Javelin by the sounds of things. So we've got Scourge, we've got Inferno, we've got Mjolnir. We need Nova for Triclavians and drones. So it sounds like Damos hopping is a trick here. And then seems like you got yourself a solo hook bill. I'm gonna go take a nap. Good luck. Yeah, I did. We're changing that up a bit. So I've got Scourge Rage. That's nice of this person. If anyone wants to make Tech 2 rockets and seed them on the market, that'd be nice. I'm probably going to import a load and sell them myself, but they won't be as cheap as people making them locally. Mjolnir Rage. Got Scourge Rage. Let's get some Nova Rage. Very important. Make sure we've got a fun skin on it. Union Day Workers. I don't mind that one. Let's have that one. So it says Scourge rockets by default. So do we go Scourge Javelin by default? 33-kilometer range. Yeah, loads of range. If we want to overheat, we want to move these round, so let's do that. So the way overheating works is it's called the rack. So this is your rack, and this module overheats onto this module, puts a bit of heat on it. This one goes to this one. If you put them both next to each other, they heat into each other, so you double the effect. So put them on the edges, and these are all passive modules, so they can absorb some of the heat. That's the way to do it, as far as I know. And then buying hook bill. How much did it cost us to get this hook bill? So we were at $912, let's say 912 million, and now we're at minus 883. So it cost us 29 million. So we got 19 million. So we need some T1 dark filaments. Dark. So T1 is calm. Luckily someone's selling these for cheaps. Let's buy 9 to start with, and we'll also buy another 50 to put in the hanger. So that was another, however much? Another 1.6. Filaments. Right. Right, wish me luck, stream. We're gonna go for it. Need my little cheat sheet up. Where's my little cheat sheet gone? Oh, there's a Crusader, but he's in MJ, so he's not actually a threat to us. We've literally got 3 modules on this, so it's mostly going to be how we fly. I actually can't, like, not have that down there. Just always have it down there. I'm going to go drop some bits off. We don't need all of these filaments, for example. So we'll drop 50 of them off. What time is it? 15 minutes, right. I've got enough for 1 attempt. And I'm going to have to dash off, and I might be able to come back. I always like to hide the passive ones. Yeah, you gotta put the passive ones over to the side or hide them. I like to keep them up because of heat damage. I didn't used to do that, and then we had like a little attempt at doing the Alliance tournament, and we were like really pushing heat levels, and you need to know if you've suddenly lost a module, if you're going to tank or not, basically. Look, a goon. A goon is in the Abyssal channel. Can't possibly share channel with somebody who fights against me in my made-up internet spaceship game. So we are frigates. We're activating for fleet. And we're going for it. They said we had to look at what bonuses we got. So like, I didn't know that varied, but apparently. So we got 50. And we've got Kikimora. So we want to stay away from the Kikimora. We have to be within 56. So have we got the right ammo? So Triglavians, we want Nova. So Nova Skirt, Nova Javelin? Nova Javelin. We want to orbit you at 30, ideally, I think. I just want you to be not anywhere near me. And then we start shooting you. Go! Run! I mean, we did this with a really badly fit Vexor, so I imagine it's going to be very possible with this. So far they can't hit us, which is great. It's like perfect situation. We're going to suddenly start breaking this guy? Or do we have to kill his Damavik? Meow. Yeah, we're winning. We're getting there. It says Nova for Triglavians. Oh, is he going to shoot me now? Because I turned right into him. He seems to really be struggling with range. And I think he actually got bumped on the object there. Yeah, I think I just managed to fly him into the object. Which is fun. Oh, he's off it now. Zooming around again. I think we got him, guys, though. Just get the zero ones, the tranquils. So tier 1 is calm, tranquil is the other one, and just try like the Condor fit. Just try that T0 Alpha Condor fit, just to get your feet wet. And then if you've got a bit of money, feel free to go into the T1 hook bills and just work your way up. That's all I'm doing. I'm just like kind of guessing and watching the guides and figuring it out. Let's go for some Nova Rage into this fella. Reloads quick on the old rockets. Are we hitting? Oh, we are. What? It does matter. So the fits will be like this is for darks, this is for electricals, you know. If you're doing these ones, I think they're all dark fits. This one is dark that we're in now, you can tell by that. Oh, look at that, 1.6 mil. This is definitely better than the Caracal, straight off the bat. I mean, this should be 3 times as good as the Caracal. Riskier. The Caracal basically can't die. So we want to go back into our default, which is Scourge Javelin. I don't know why Scourge is the default when all of the dangerous bros are. I suppose it's like... No, I don't know. Don't know. Don't know what the advantage of sitting in Scourge is. So these are drones. I think we just have to face tank them and just kill them. Let's see if we can kill one before he even gets to us. There's one. Oh, they're taking damage. Ah, let's fly them into here. I think the rockets survive this. Don't know. Looks like it do. Just gotta go fast, bro. Now, is the damage hitting? Yeah, it is. And it hits well. I think that the default is because of the damage bonus, right? We got damage bonus. Yeah, we got kinetic damage bonus, 25%. So we're just doing 5% extra. And we got max skills, so like that'll be amplified quite well. Oh, we in here? We in Javelin? Let's switch out. Scourge, Rage. Yeah. I mean, you know, might have noticed that they're doing essentially nothing to me. It will. I've already said about it, Marion. Which tranquils, yeah. I think it matters with tranquils. I think you need the bonuses to make the fits work. You need the speed for the Condor fit, basically, or the Kestrel fit, or whatever they have. Well, I'm glad that we switched because this is definitely much better. Let's go back into our Scourge Javelins just in case. Should only take us a few runs, successful runs, to pay this upbill off, which is great. So this guy we need to do a spiral in. We need to load Rage, and he's a drone, so drones are Nova. So Nova Rage, need to get into range of him. We'll kill his little friend as well. He's decided to have a shot at us. Missed. You have missed, you fool. I'm just going to orbit super close once we get onto him. Oh, my afterburner was off. It's going to help. But yeah, we just got to race him down. So the danger, according to the guide, was that you get like 3 waves of this battleship because he takes forever to kill. So what they said is they want us to go EM first. So Mjolnir Rage first. And then we go into Nova. And then we go into Scourge. Because that's our biggest damage. So this should speed things up. You'll notice that was like, that's massively increased the damage actually. So that was worth the switch. One thing on my mind. Hookvilla's a bit of a weird looking ship. Right, so we're through the shields. Now we want to go into Nova to get rid of the armor. We can look at the logs and messages. We can see we were doing Mjolnir Rage 496. Nova Rage. Why was the Mjolnir shouldn't have been doing that much more? But it was going the wrong way there. I think it was. Yeah, it was. So, Nova, Mjolnir. So 186 to 336, yeah. You can see it's a big difference. And he's starting to bleed a little bit of structure there, so we'll swap into the structure. Well, what we need to kill the structure. Slight increase, 10% increase, not bad. Oh, just waiting. Yeah, no worries, man. You have a good lunch? Nice, so we've made a lot more risk there. A massive increase. Alright. I'm going to be going soon as well, mate, yeah. However long we've been going is long enough for me. An hour and 45, yeah, that's plenty of time. Gonna go on and get on with my day. It's a really nice sunny day out today, so well, I say really nice, kind of a bit overcast now, but I will be out of the house most of today. See you later. Have a good one. I'll try and upload this as a VOD, but everyone have a good day. I'm gonna just find us a stream to follow. Who can we watch? Shall we watch? A lot of these are just gate camps, like late night abyss grind. Let's watch this, guys. Switch it games, right? I'm just gonna raid us into them. All 10 of us. A huge raid.
Romantical.
Great to be a part of 10 viewers. Wow, thank you so much, man.
Turn down for what?
Thank you. Kickbutt refollowed me again.
Turn down for
Eve
what?
Mentor, how you doing, brother? Welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you in the channel. How you guys doing, Raiders? Raiders, welcome in. I'm Switch Hit. Thanks so much for the follow, Kickbutt, again. Stream DRB says, hello, can we get a shout out? Just finished an Abyssal stream. Nice. Abyssals are a lot of fun. Good to see you in the channel, sir. I hope your stream was fantastic. Raiders, if you'd like to support the channel, please turn yourself from a raider into a viewer by refreshing the page or clicking on my name under the picture. Okay, man, that's okay. Head to bed. See you later. All right, Eve Mentorship.